Hi guys, welcome to Conversations with Michelle and Stacey. We're going to do another video today and come join us. My name is Michelle, like I just said, and
I'm Stacey.
hi Stacey, how are you today?
I am great. It's another glorious day. It's a beautiful day, and I'm grateful to God, first and foremost, for allowing us to do this again, and protecting our families. And we're here to do it. Let's do it.
Yes, you want to hear something funny? You said a glorious day, a beautiful day, and in my head, the mom that I am, guess what came to my head?
What?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Daniel's
Oh
hired.
my. Makes sense. Makes sense. It happens. It will plague you till they get out
Oh
of that stage.
my gosh.
Your daughter gets out of that stage. Every little nursery rhyme, everything that you say becomes part of your life as an adult. It's crazy. Get
And
used to
it's crazy.
it. It's amazing. You ever
But
start you ever start humming to ABC like you're taking a shower and you're singing ABC to yourself like jamming? You know.
oh
That's
my
it.
goodness, and I just don't know one version. I know like the super wide version and everything
Right.
else. I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
yep,
where's
yep.
it gonna end?
That's parenthood for you.
Oh,
Parenthood. Yeah.
like I saw earlier today on Instagram. I mean, it had this parent said, "Dads, which one do you hate more, Cocomelon or Peppa Pig?" And I'm like,
But
oh, that's an interesting question.
I like Peppa Pig.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like Peppa Pig.
I like the accent in Peppa Pig. I never sit there and actually looked at the episode. My husband has, and I haven't.
Okay, she's fun. I know a lot of the episodes because Stella, my daughter, is still 4, and we do a lot of Peppa Pig. So she's cool around here. Coco Melon, not so much. So I'll pass on that one, I guess.
Cocomelon, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm excited today. Today we're talking about friendship. What is friendship and what friendship means to us?
Yeah.
Um, going back from as a kid, I had friends. But now that I'm an adult, I have a different definition of friendship. As children, we think of friends as just like someone who's there with us and talk with us.
Yeah,
But
and you
as you grow
share
older,
food,
yeah,
right?
your food, cake.
Yeah. Gum. Shh. We did it as kids, though. Like you want a piece of gum, like we didn't
Yes.
know. Sue me, but we were kids and built our immune systems too, so
Exactly,
it helped
exactly.
out.
That makes us stronger, right? Is that your definition of makes us stronger?
Yeah. At that point, sharing was definitely caring when they sneezed in your face and you're like friends and you love each other. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What
I
a
wouldn't do that now. Definitely a different definition of friendship at my age. No, don't say that.
exactly.
So I get it.
um, as an adult, I definitely have a different definition of friendship. Um, my definition of friendship is someone who's always there for you, the good and
Mhm.
the bad, the not so bad, in the middle. My definition of friendship is also someone who tells you the truth, no matter what. Because I mean, the truth hurts,
Yeah.
but you don't want a yes friend. And I think someone who is able to just tell you as it is, but in a loving, kind way, but still able to say to you, hey, you did this wrong, but you can fix it, and this is the way you should fix it. Or I advise you to go get help in order to fix it, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
my definition of friendship has definitely changed throughout the years. What is your definition of friendship?
I mean, I have so many questions based on your definition right there. Like before I even, you know, no, but you hit okay, so I'll backtrack in a second, but definitely loyalty, kindness, love, being supportive, good communication, like some
Correct.
those are some of the fundamentals for sure.
Yeah.
But just because we're having conversations, right? I'm going to say that um I think a very important issue that friendship poses at times is boundaries. So I'm listening to you and
I
I'm
am.
like, yeah, boundaries. Because I'm like, yeah, best friend, yeah. But like, when do we say like this
Yeah,
is, and I
definitely.
think that that part of friendship as adults, that just, you know, it poses such a big problem for some. And even when you're in the when you're in the position where, what do I, like, shoot, I should be telling her that she needs to like chill, but like how much? No, that's an honest question that I
Yeah, yeah.
actually like, anyone who's listening who cares to chime in, like, those boundaries, what are those boundaries? Or do you have absolutely no boundaries with your friends, well, those you consider best friends, or what are
That's
the
another question. That's a good question.
yeah.
As as having a best friend, should there be boundaries? Should you be able to say whatever it is, or you should be able to like, no, not
I like, I mean, it's hard because I like boundaries,
okay.
because sometimes I think if you have someone who's reasonable, who can respectfully say things without necessarily expecting you to just do what they say because I'm your friend, I have your back,
I like
and
myself.
you need to like fix it because I'm telling you that you got problems, that you didn't fix those problems, or you're wrong in this instance. Um, I think that if that's able to be, if you're able to define those, you know, and I think it then becomes each person's own culture within their own friendships. I
Yeah.
don't think it's necessarily a blanket, expectation of how far you can, trespass over somebody else's lives to help.
I also believe in like the fact that there are different levels of friendship because they're
Yeah,
best friends, they're friends who for a season,
yeah,
they're different kinds of friends. So it depends on the friendship level. Because I'd be like, oh, tell them the truth, you know? And you can give that person permission to tell you the truth no matter what.
mm-hmm,
And there's no boundaries then. Because I have people in my life who be like, okay, Michelle, X, Y, Z.
mm-hmm.
And I gave them permission to do it. Now, if I didn't give you permission to be all blunt and crazy with it, you cannot
Yeah,
just tell me what comes to your mind. You have
yeah.
to be able to know when to put that period.
Yeah, and I think you're right too, in the sense that when you're ready to hear what your friend has to say, when you give them that permission, it kind of, you bracing yourself for the fact that you may not even like what they're about to say to
Yeah.
you, so you're prepared, because I've had friends, you know, look at certain pictures or say certain things and say to me that, hey, and it made me feel like, why are you criticizing my picture, like, and I know it was from a place of care, it was from a place where, um I guess, concern, but I'm like, um I like my picture. I put it up because I like it, and your opinion, or your preference about what I should look like is yours, and you shouldn't impact, like, put that on me, like what
Yeah.
you prefer. You don't impart
Yeah.
that on me. Um, but it was from a loving place. So if that friend's listening, I love you. I just had to use it as an example. But I just needed to, because sometimes, a lot of times words carry weight,
Yeah.
and despite knowing the motive behind what has been said, you can still feel away from it, especially when it's not welcomed, unsolicited,
Yeah.
so granting permission to, give that, you know but then they might say, if I can't talk to you, then maybe I'm not your friend. I don't know.
I think that's kind of immature though, because I'm saying like at the end of the day, you can tell me whatever. Because I've had friends who come to me and say to me something about my parenting, and I'm like, wait, what? You're not allowed, in my opinion, I'm like, you're not allowed to tell me what it is I'm doing as a parent. One, because you're not a parent and you're just looking at it as in 1 day or 2 days that go by. So it's just like at that time, are you telling me stuff because you notice on an everyday basis, or you tell me because you see it on a 1 day basis, just like you see in your picture?
Yeah,
Like, it's my picture, I love it,
yeah,
and maybe I'm not having a good day, and you came to me and say something about my picture, and just like, make me feel worse than what I'm already feeling about my
Yeah.
day. So I think even with friendship and even though being brutally honest, you can still tell someone something, but you have to read the room. You have to read their feelings and how they feel first before you out and say X, Y, Z. And also think that you gotta pray before it. I think that's what prayer comes in because sometimes you just like you can tell someone, hey, your breath stink. And the person's like, ooh, it'd be
Not mine.
hurtful.
Not mine. No, I
Or you
did.
can be like,
Yeah, not mine.
"Hey, do you need a gum? Oh, here's a gum." And
Yeah.
that is softer than, being so blunt with it. So you just have to know how to read a room with your friend and see what they're going. First, you have a conversation with them, see how they're feeling in order for you to just interject and tell them whatever you want to say. Either it's the truth, you think is the truth, or it's just like your observation based on that one time or that two times
Yeah.
that you see stuff because stuff keep recurring and recurring all the time. So yeah,
Yeah, it's just crazy that there are friends who just believe that they can say whatever they want
yeah,
to you, and they use the fact that you know I'm not going to pacify you and say just things you want to hear. I'm not just going to be a yes friend. I'm not
yeah,
going to so they come at you almost like attacking you, but
yeah,
in the sense that their motivation is that they're trying to do something good for you and call you out on your BS, or you know
yeah,
let
yeah.
you know what it is. But it's not always effective, like
No,
having someone come at you in the namesake of, well, it's going to hurt sometimes, or love hurt. I'm like, love shouldn't hurt, first of all, but that's another topic. um
yeah. The Bible do speaks of soft tongue turns away wrath. So
yeah, it does, it does. But I guess we have to just be aware of what type of friends we are in the equation when we have something to say and how we go about to deliver it.
yeah,
Because especially when you become an adult, the topics, the subjects become more, they become heavier than, are
yeah.
you gonna sit with me during lunchtime? Or you don't want to play blocks with me and I want to jump rope and you're not my friend, but you could be my friend tomorrow, but I don't like you today. You know what I'm saying? So
How
we're
many of those conversations you had with your girls because they're
right.
in school?
Right. No, my Stella comes home and say all the time, Chloe did not want to play with me, and she's not my friend, and but she makes the beautiful thing is that she makes space for the next day, because as adults, sometimes in friendships, we're quick to like
Yeah.
just
That's what the Bible
chop
say.
it
You
off.
have to be like a child. Because I
Mm-hmm.
could see, like, even my daughter, I will scold her. And I'm like, Elizabeth, don't do this. And then she'd come to mommy, I love you, or I miss you. And I'm like,
Yeah, because you're
what
doing
the
it in love. They know the
yeah,
spirit. They can sense the spirit behind
yeah.
that discipline that you're given. But friendships as adults. But for me personally, I've the seasons of friendships, like friendships have changed.
We've definitely had our seasons too.
We've had our seasons too, of course. We'll talk about it another day. I have stories, guys. Anyway, but I've had so many beautiful friendships that I thought would be a lifetime. Like
Mhm.
I had friendships that ended that I've never experienced divorce, by God's grace, thank you Jesus, but it felt like it was such a breaking of ways that it took me years even to get over, because
Yeah,
it was so devastating when those friendships came to a halt,
yeah,
and so just understanding how different it is when you're an adult and making space for those changes. Like, how do you feel? What about some of your friendships now that you're a mom? Like, have
oh,
you
it has
noticed
definitely
like
changed.
losing some friends, and
It has
what's
definitely changed. Even being on the phone with some of my friends, like they don't want to be on the phone because my daughter is very hands-on and she's like, mommy, or something, she cries, and they be like, oh, I'll call you back later. And to be honest
have
with
no
you,
patience?
yeah, and then to be honest with you and transparent, I don't want to have like conversation with them all the time because I'm saying to them, like, if you're not there for my season, and this is my season right now,
Yeah.
motherhood of my daughter growing and into a toddler, and that's things that she needs, then I cannot just be around you when you need me in my quiet time.
Yeah, when it's convenient to
Yeah,
just that. Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So I'm like, no. So definitely motherhood has showed me who are really my friends, because some of
Hmm.
them are with me, some of them aren't with me. Even being married, some friends I'm like that I thought would still be there with me, like those that were married already before me, they're not no longer my friends. And I'm like, but I thought you'll
What?
be there for
And
me in that
yeah,
process, because you're married, you're able to tell me stuff as a friend and what to do and what not to do, or share with me your experience,
yeah,
because we learn from each other sometimes.
we do.
It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be my experience, but
Dex,
you can
yeah,
share. Yeah, you can share whatever you want to share with me, and I maybe like, oh, this is how they dealt with it. Maybe I can try their method,
yeah,
or I can incorporate their method in my method and see
exactly.
how it goes. But definitely it's something that has definitely changed throughout the years of being a mother, being a wife.
Yeah, because sometimes your friends don't feel like they can even identify with you anymore, especially since some of your interests and how you spend your time has
Yeah.
changed. And
Yeah.
so I get that part too, but then it's not a situation where you have to like break a friendship with someone. Well, I don't think so. That's my personal opinion anyway, to like totally dissolve a relationship because they're in a different season than you
Yeah.
are. you know
Yeah.
I think you know those type of friendships, I have a name for them, but I won't say it on YouTube. Yeah, I'll keep it Christian.
Yeah. PG-13?
That too. But no, people know,
Oh, PG-13. What's PG-13 nowadays, though?
right? But yeah, sometimes you really, get to certain points where you question those friendships.
Okay,
Like,
definitely.
was it really a genuine friendship? What was the premise that held us together in the first place? Like, was it
Exactly.
something solid? Because I think we try to say that we shouldn't have expectations of people, friends, spouses, significant others, even family.
Yeah.
But there is an expectation because, especially if you're so into that relationship, you kind of want certain things reciprocated, right?
The
So
thing about that word, I've learned not to like
I
that
know
word.
it's hard, but it's because
I end up getting hurt with that word, because expectation. You expect something when you don't get it.
yeah.
It hurt more than anything.
Yeah, but you have to know what your expectations are,
Yeah.
because those expectations help you set standards for what you're going to take and what you're not. Any relationship, friendships too, like since we're talking about friendships, you put yourself on the line. And when you put yourself out on the line to be there in somebody's life or have them be in your life, you're taking a chance. It's a
Yeah.
risk,
Yeah.
right? So, with that expectation, there will always be the risk of not receiving what you believe is, equal in value to what you're putting into that relationship to help it thrive.
Yeah.
It's
Um, Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." So I'm like, I love that scripture,
yeah, it's a
because
beautiful.
you can love. It doesn't matter what season a person is, you love them.
Yeah.
Sometimes some person's in a not so great season, doesn't mean that you walk away from them if you're a friend. So I love that scripture.
And with love, we need, because even with that word love, I think it's a word that we use so much. I love your hair. I no, personally, I love cake. So I love cake. So,
Let me talk about cake.
I know, sorry. But anyway, we use words like love without a true understanding sometimes of what
Yeah,
it really means, even for the next person, because love can mean loyalty and trust. For you, it could be support and honesty. So
yeah,
sometimes communicating what those expectations are, again, that word expectations are within the relationship, can help, probably create an environment where those important traits or are
yeah,
can flourish, because I know that you like or you need this, and I know, what I'm saying.
yeah.
So I think that communication in friendships, um relationships. It's very, very important to know, you know.
I definitely think so. Okay, we can go on and on about
I
this
know,
for long.
right? It's a long time.
But I think there should be a part 2 of this, don't you think?
We
I
should.
think we
We
should
should.
definitely do a part 2. So we're gonna say goodbye for now,
Yes, guys.
and we will continue this conversation, and we're gonna have a part 2 of it.
Sounds
So
great.
guys, it was so great to see you. Please, in the comments section, tell us what your definition of friendship is. Tell us what you have been through as a friend,
Yeah.
and share with us. We want to have that conversation with you.
Yes. Let's go through some good stories and see
Yes.
how we can learn and what we can get from it. But thanks again, guys. Thank
Bye
you. See you
bye.
next video.
Alrighty.